Definitely major breaking news here. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy comes out and pretty much says, this is a golden age for transportation, and also states that, we got to really look into self driving vehicles. And so this could be a world where you just see light duty vehicles, you see Ubers coming to you, and there's going to be no one driving in that driver's seat. You're going to be on the road as a truck driver, looking to your left or right, and you're going to see a four wheeler, and there's going to be nobody in the driver's seat. My truckers, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that's going to be a safer world or not? But that's a world that is coming. It looks like sooner than later. And I'm going to talk about, after I show this video clip, how I think this affects the truck drivers out there. And I don't want you guys to be afraid, because I think that we're going to be around for a very long time, and I'll share my opinions why.
America is in the middle of an innovation race with China, and the stakes couldn't be higher. That's why we're unveiling a new automated vehicle framework as part of our DOT's innovation agenda. Now, this framework, it has three key components. Number one, prioritize safety. Number two, unleash innovation. And number three, enable commercial deployment. So we're announcing two initial steps in this framework today. First, when it comes to safety, we've heard from industry partners the crash reporting requirements for automated vehicles, it's way too expensive, way too costly. But these reports help DOT monitor road safety. So to balance these concerns, we've streamlined the process in AV crash reporting to sharpen the data while removing the redundancies. We'll have much more to share on this in the coming months. The long-term goal here is to move us closer to a single national standard. We don't want 50 states with 50 standards. We want one national standard for AVs. Second, we're cutting the unnecessary red tape. Right now, vehicles made outside the country qualify for a quick exemption process. Meanwhile, AVs made right here in America have to deal with a stringent permitting process. This makes zero sense. Under this administration, we put America first. We've now fixed this by expanding the AV exemption program so domestic vehicles, they're included. This will encourage innovation right here at home. America has always been the home of innovators. From the Wright brothers to the first astronauts on the moon, our nation has always been at the cutting edge of transportation technology. Innovation is one of my top priorities, and I can't wait to share more about how the DOT is bringing about the golden age of transportation.
I have to have a conversation about this. I had a lot of truck drivers ask me, and so I want to give my opinion because drivers are asking me to do so. Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation, gave this whopping news and basically stated that this is the golden age of transportation. And when he's saying that, he's stating that this is this competition against China when it comes to automated vehicles, right? So we're talking self-driving cars. I'm believing light duty. This opens up the gates to more testing for self-driving semi-trucks. And, for the first portion of this, I want to tell you, what does this really mean for truck drivers, right? Are they going to make self-driving trucks and then just kick out truck drivers? The answer to this is no, they're not doing that. And the reason why I'm stating that is, when it comes to cost per mile and doing business, is so thin margins for these big mega fleets to make money. So Knight Swift, Warner, Prime, Walmart, the big boys and girls out there, they have made so much investments in diesel trucks because it just doesn't make sense for them to go electric alone. And so when they're going to go with these automated vehicles, they would go with electric trucks. So the day that you see Knight Swift and all those megas buying majority of their fleet to be electric, then hey, maybe that will be a problem we have to worry about. But that's something that is just light years away. They're making thin margins now. Trucking is so hard to make any money. And so they got to go diesel. So I just don't see that happening. Number two, of course, is infrastructure. I don't see that happening either because we just can't do that, right? On a local format, maybe something like PepsiCo, they ordered like 100 electric Tesla trucks. And, if it was something like that, that could be possible. But for the most part, I would state that we're going to be okay. Now, where does this affect truck drivers in the near future? Well, if you've seen the Tesla stock, that went up like crazy. And so looking at that, I'm here to tell you, they already have self-driving mode. I've jumped into Tesla, and basically you hit the button and the thing just goes by itself already. They've had that technology. So what does this really mean? This could mean a world where if you hit an Uber, it might not be anyone that comes to pick you up. It just might be the vehicle itself. And if you're in Phoenix, if you're in Austin, Waymo, they already have that now. So this could be a world where truck drivers, they're driving on the road and they're looking over at these four-wheelers, and there's going to be no one in the driver's seat. So the big question that I have for all the truck drivers out there is, are you going to feel more safe knowing that all the four-wheelers out there, there's going to be nobody in the driver's seat and it's going to be self-driving? Is that something that's going to make you more comfortable or not? Because that's the future that could be coming soon. You know, Tesla even talked about it in the earning calls. I mean, at the end of this year, that can be something that can be true. That's why the Tesla stock is up like crazy. But Mud Truckers, what are your thoughts about this? You know, I just want to share this information. You know, a lot of truck drivers are very unhappy with this just because, you know, it's just pushing the narrative of self-driving. And so the big one is we just don't have the infrastructure for this. And the second thing for this is if it's going to affect anyone, it's going to affect the gig economy first. You know, the Uber Eats, the DoorDashes, all those people, because now you just won't need them. The car's going to come itself, right? So Mud Truckers, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, but just want to share this information today. But just want to let you guys know 100%. I just don't see this really affecting truck drivers now, but this is definitely a gateway to testing more, which they're doing now already. Okay, so, you know, Mud Truckers, comment down below. But by hearing this news, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about this?
All I gotta say is support a family business that doesn't charge for truck parking. I mean, tell me the truth now. Well, we're at a serious moment right here. Why will you not charge these truck drivers for truck parking when every other truck stop seems to be charging?
Well, it's actually right to park where you do business. If they come in and shop with us or fuel with us, we have always provided free parking for 50 years. So why would we start charging now? We want people to come in and park with us and go to our bakery or deli or in the C-store to park safely after they fuel or whichever, or use the showers.
I love that. I love that. He's a very humble guy, and it's really amazing.
Sometimes.
And I'm glad to call him a friend. And so let's walk around and show some of these amenities.
Awesome.
Because there's the three that are big: truck parking, free parking,
lots of it,
showers,
and
hey, a place to eat, a bakery, a deli.
yep, got it all, baby.
Let's go. What's going on with the truckers? So you guys know, with Ambis, we're on our tour. We're going to the best Ambis locations. Whoop whoop. You know what's so fun? I've had a chance to make friends with this man right here, and we're out here celebrating 50 years. 50 years, 5-0?
50 years.
Introduce yourself, sir, to all the people here.
I'm Walt Merle. Merle's at Ambest Travel Plaza, Missoula, Montana, and we'll be 50 years on May 27th of this year.
First things I want to tell you guys. All right, the bakery is freaking awesome.
Montana Bakery and Deli. Wheat Montana Bakery and Deli. For you, I'm holding the door for you. You get all of that on the thing. You're not holding the door for me. Welcome.
Hey, he held the door for me, so I got to do it back.
You're gonna turn it back.
Let's do it. Hey guys, I've heard a lot about these cinnamon rolls, so we're gonna get this.
Thank goodness we have some still left.
Yeah,
sometimes we sell out.
awesome. Yeah. So we're right here in the bakery and deli right here. You know, who are these lovely people?
We got Josh Anna, our manager, and we got Regina, one of our superstars here that are working the front counter.
What we got left? Because I know.
This is plain caramel. We got caramel walnut. We're usually caramel almond here. We got huckleberry cream cheese, regular cream cheese, huckleberry glaze, salted caramel cream cheese, and maple.
Oh my gosh. So which one is your favorite?
The salted caramel cream cheese.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Alright. You guys already know my shape is a circle. It's pretty good. Regina, truck driver walks in, what should they try here?
For breakfast or lunch?
Breakfast.
I always say the big belt.
The big belt for sure?
That's the one with the gravy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Take it out a little bit. See, so what they get here?
Let's see. This is a Reuben with a side of carrot. That's a hot dog. This is just a side of carrots. That one is a Headwaters, so turkey, cheddar, lettuce, tomato.
Oh, I love it. You know, so we got some home cooked options and we got some healthy options for the truck drivers. Let's go. The parking is free.
Amazing and free.
All right,
Alec, no, you go.
No, look. Yeah, this truck is awesome. So, you know, for all the owner operators out there, you're a small business too. I'm being honest here. Support a guy like this. Support a guy that wants you guys to come in and is not nickel and diming you, you know, on every single thing. And so I just think that's so awesome. And we got to walk around because the old school travel center, the truck stop, those days are going away when it comes to a place to park, ample parking. Yeah. A lot of these new locations.
Personality.
I mean, this property is so unique. What are a couple of things so that these drivers can know about this?
Well, actually, Merle's Travel Plaza consists of course, the main truck stop part where you can fuel and our really cool, unique showers. We're going to go visit a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the great bakery and deli, and then we actually have food truck, pizza food truck. We have a really quiet bar and lounge here, and then the Days Inn Hotel, which we have CDL trucker rates, so we have quite a few truckers to stay
What up?
with us.
The Days Inn is yours too?
Yeah, baby.
Wait. Hey,
What do you mean?
You're being super humble. I didn't know. I didn't know you had that.
And then we also have the Taco Bell here on the property, so you can go get a burrito, or you can get a beautiful cinnamon roll, homemade cinnamon roll, muffins.
So
It's
wait,
awesome.
tell me this now.
Hey,
Tell me this.
what?
For the Days Inn,
Yeah.
a lot of times you show your CDL, you'll get nothing for it.
Wow.
Here,
Beautiful. Big discount.
What's the
best,
discount, baby?
Best price. I think it's 20%. Best price in the house.
so why
There's no lower rate because we love
Why
truck
are you
drivers.
getting
Because we love
discounts?
truck drivers. We're a truck stop. That's our bread and butter. That's been where we've been from. So we want truck drivers to stay with us because we have all the amenities for them, right? Then they appreciate us, right? We can take care of them in the store if they need cash advances or stuff like that, and we got all the services here.
So what's the address
we just
here?
always have.
Yeah, what's the address here?
Well, we're at the exit 96 off of I-90, junction of I-90 and Highway 93. The official address is 8800
I'll put that on the screen.
Truckstop Road, Missoula, Montana, United States of America, Earth, Milky Way. Well, the story behind our showers are that I figured, actually, all the big guys, right, all their showers are all exactly the same.
Right.
So probably, 15, 20 years ago, when we laid this little highway down here.
Yeah.
And then I thought, we're going to make every room different.
Let's see what this looks like. Well, guess what room it is.
How's that?
Look at that. Oh, that's cool.
That's a commission painted. You got to get a close up of that. That's a rainbow trout.
I'm loving it. It's one.
All have their own toilet and hair dryer and all that stuff.
So how many truck drivers out there love fishing? That's all I gotta say.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Rainbow trout action. They're pretty common in Montana.
Stop.
Bubby. Hey. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right, we're gonna guess, team, what this one is. All right, so this one, I'm thinking has something to do with mooses.
And wilderness.
And wilderness.
Kind of a cabin theme.
So this is a cabin theme right here. This is cool, guys. Let's see. Let's check
nice
this out.
walk-in shower going to
Look
the
at that.
shower.
Look at that. Look at me walking. I'm
That's
a
a
big
big-
guy too, guys. Look at this.
Look at that big old shower.
You know what I mean? There we go, baby. Let me see. Let's walk in.
It's completely painted, and it's got outside windows, so you got natural light.
Look at that. The garden room, y'all.
It's got a park bench.
If you guys want to get private and comfortable, garden room.
Right. Well, this is for team couples drivers.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, big and spacious is that.
Big and spacious, comfortable.
Beautiful paint job.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is
Looking
our
nice.
Victorian room.
I like it.
Two-headed shower in the shower room.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's walk inside. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Besides parking, besides food options, having clean showers is always like the top one on everyone's list at the end of the day. So this beautiful man here, Walt,
Not many people call me beautiful, but I'll take
wanted me
it.
to introduce me to the person that keeps this and makes this happen. So
And he's been here 32 years.
32 years, Tim?
Since 1993.
So, I always want to highlight the people that do that
Tim
because,
Klein.
for the truck drivers, at the end of the day, working hard and just, that 1% that's moving 100% of America is what I always like to say.
Yes.
These drivers come in and the thing that they're hoping for is a nice, clean shower. And so we just want to say we appreciate you.
Thank you.
So the big question is, all these years and keeping all these showers clean and doing all that, why do you do it?
I do it for the truck driver. Because if it wasn't for the truck driver, you wouldn't get your shoes.
That's right. I appreciate
If it
it.
wasn't for the truck driver, you wouldn't get your food, So you got to cater to the truck driver. Because without him, you don't get anything.
Thank you. Love shaking your hand, sir. I appreciate you. No, we're just having a good time. All right, Mutha truckers, you already know, we got to talk to someone at the cashier because, when it comes to a travel center, these are the people that get you in and out very quickly. And we had a great conversation off camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how you feel about truckers? And what'd you tell me, Carl?
So considering I was raised by him,
When you say raised, what do you mean by that?
I mean, my mom was a trucker, my ex-stepdad was a trucker, well, dad. My grandparents both had a trucking company in Plains.
Woo!
My grandpa still trucks, he's 75 years old. So
Really?
A little scary. My aunt, two of my uncles, my mom, my sister for a little while, but she decided to have kids instead.
Yeah, I heard that. So the whole family is in the trucking industry?
The whole family. We third generation loggers out of Oregon too.
And now you're working for a travel plaza.
Yeah,
yourself?
I moved up here. It was just so different. It felt like I was coming back to my roots because I remember when I was a kid and it
Yeah.
was a restaurant over here. I used to come up here with my parents to visit my grandparents as they were coming through on the truck.
Yeah,
And that's some of my best memories.
I love that. So, when you see these truck drivers now, how do you feel about them?
It just feels like they're family.
I love that. No, I appreciate that. No, thank you so
Unless
much.
they're Karens and then they're just distant
Yeah,
aunts and
yeah, yeah.
uncles.
I heard that. No, well, thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
I gotta get back to work now.
Yeah. All right, so as soon as I came here, I'm always thinking of things, looking at things and observing travel centers and what the heck's unique? I'm a super big Transformers fan, all right? And I see this thing right here. I see Bumblebee right here. Okay, so what the heck is Bumblebee doing here?
Well, the story is I was out traveling with some buddies and I saw him. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I get the story on him that he's made out of recycled motorcycle, car, and semi-truck parts, and actually some manufacturing parts. You can identify a lot of things on him that are from vehicles if you're smarter than me and a mechanic. And he weighs 1,200 pounds, and we had to remodel this whole entryway space to fit him. And it's just so fun to see people come in and marvel on. And I appreciate, what an amazing piece of art. So I love incorporating art into the travel plaza. We have other art back there. We have some unique signs there. Actually had a commissioned wood burn piece of recognizing Native Americans, because Native Americans are such a big part of Montana in the West. And it's recognizing the 7 different tribes that were in and around the area of Montana before it was a state. So we're going to be hanging that in about 2 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the cool, unique stuff is when you come in here, besides the showers, just the public restrooms for the men and women are so cool. And you got you got some really cool art.
Yep.
Can you tell people a little bit about the art in the women's room, and then we'll show a little bit what that
we
is?
spent forever because I knew I wanted something that was really cool, but not just pictures of actual things, but depicted nature and nice warm colors. So when we found that art, I was like, that's it. My Melissa, who's my Ultimate Dream Fulfiller official. That's her title in the company. She found it, and she did an amazing job decorating both of the ladies' room and the men's room. But I'm so proud of them because you should feel good and not just clean, but you have some class to it, right?
So while I was in the men's restroom, I saw some motivation while in the restroom, and I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to talk to Walt and ask him about that. So what are these? Because while I'm there doing my business, I'm reading motivation and stories.
By me doing his business, taking a pee.
Yeah, going pee.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's why it's yellow.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit and why you guys do that.
So this all started when word processing first came out, and I took an adult ed class. And there was a great passage by Michael Jordan about fear and overcoming fear. Michael Jordan, the basketball player. That's a great passage. And I got to typeset it, put an image in it, and all that stuff. And then I said, that's great. Let's put it in employees' paychecks. And then we said, let's send it to customers in the payable statements. And I thought, then we got some more. And then I said, let's just put them in the restrooms. And so we probably have about 40 or so inspirational and thoughtful flyers. Like this one is actually an excerpt from A River Runs Through It, which is a great passage. There's another one about Thoughts for the Living that came from the Huffington Post. So various things like that, and you see people walking out with them all the time.
So why do you feel that truck drivers need motivation?
Well, hey, it's tough being a truck driver out there. Number one, you're away from home. You've had probably some difficult days, and I have had a ton of people say, thanks for having this because it lifted them up. You know, we're here to enrich people's lives, and so rather than having flyers selling CBs and antennas, we have the passages that are inspirational to people.
Beeline over here.
Yes, sir.
And we get it stuff here. I always came over here to eat.
Yeah.
And that's where I met Sandy at, in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And pretty soon she was mine.
Where did you say that was?
77.
77.
I appreciate you, sir. So 50 years.
We were only 2 years. We were Standard Oil still back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 50 years of anniversary of business. And my
48 years of meeting
yeah,
wife. Yeah.
48 years of you being your wife.
I knew you were way back then.
Well, I was a punk little snot-nosed kid.
Yep.